So the big question is this: how are those in the self-storage industry like us going to be successful in today's market? That's the question, and this show will give you the answers. My name is Jim Ross, and welcome to the Self-Storage Show.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining for another episode of the Self-Storage Show. This is Jim Ross. Today's episode, right before I started recording, I'm like, what should I talk about today? And then sitting on my desk was the latest issue of ISS. Like, all right, that'll give me inspiration. And I just talked about forming a serene team. That's how you say it, serene. Anyway, and I'm like, I haven't talked about this kind of strategy in a while. And, you say team, I don't care if you just have one site, okay, you have one employee, or you have a large team, and you have sites spread out all over across the nation. Or, like in my case, I'm kind of more in the Western United States. I kind of keep my team in that region. But yeah, it doesn't matter how many employees you have, you're still on the same team, okay? Your common goal is to educate yourselves, be on the same page, having that common goal or where you're getting to. And this isn't necessarily specifics about, your goal setting for your specific location or like occupancy and revenue. Not so much about that. This is going to be much more about just getting that communication going and getting employees just participating kind of in that team building process, and at the same time educating themselves about the self-storage industry. So yeah, the reason I kind of brought that up is it's a simple strategy, simple technique they can utilize with your team. And I've seen it utilized in different ways. Some people, they get together once a week, sometimes every other week, sometimes it's once a month. That's a little too long, in my opinion. Just too many gaps in between of actually getting together. But a lot of times what people will do, and what I recommend, this simple strategy, is kind of letting everyone know that's, on your employees, just to say, okay, here's a list of resources. And I'll give you those resources here in a second, but here's a list of resources. Just go through, find something, find an article, find a question, find a thread in a group. Something that just kind of strikes you as interesting, or you have questions about, something you want to talk more about. Bring that to the group. When we have our again, virtual most of the time, especially nowadays, having those kind of group sessions, and we'll talk about it. And I kind of give them a list of resources to have them go through and start learning some things. So you got your ISS magazine, have that sent to all the stores. That's great. ISS Talk on their website. That's a great online forum to find questions and answers and just communication that's going on. It's been around for a long time. You got, of course, your Facebook groups. Some good communications going on in those kind of groups. Just join all those groups and kind of getting a finger on the pulse of what's going on. You got your Mini Storage Messenger, another great magazine publication to subscribe to and learn from. Of course, SSA, their publications, when you join their association, get their magazine. Fantastic. Of course, right now everyone's doing, you got your virtual summits, you got your webinars, you got your GabFest, all that kind of stuff going on all the time. But just letting them know, hey, this is what's coming up, or this is a good list of resources. I want you to participate in it, and then let's find something we can talk about next time we meet up. And it's just a great way of being able to, again, kind of participate and just start getting the wheels flowing, right? It's going, hey, how's work going? Cool. All right, see you next time. No, it's a simple little strategy that just helps kind of get things going here. And there's someone that reached out to me. It's probably been a couple of weeks ago now, and kind of humbling that they've used my stuff for the course of years with 3 Mile Domination and 3 Mile Storage and the Self-Storage Show, just everything I've kind of done online. And they kind of use that as their springboard when they're having their company meetings. What did you learn? What can we implement? What should we try? And they've been kind of using that as their framework. to just to get communications flowing. I'm like, that made me feel good. But again, you don't have to eat my stuff. There's let's list all the resources. There's tons out there. And you just kind of get one little kernel sometimes of something that just lights that spark and everyone kind of jumps on it. And I've seen companies that just from one little something that a manager has brought to the communication, brought to the group to talk about, they are all on board and they kind of start implementing that in their company culture and their policies and procedures, and they're better off for it. So again, I like that kind of style rather than kind of a top down, the regional manager, the owner just saying, this is what we're going to do. It's much better just having an open communication and contribution. And then I get the question sometimes of like, all right, well, should it always just be, for these kind of sessions and these weekly or biweekly or monthly get-togethers? No, not necessarily. Some great online ways to kind of tie everyone together and have the communication going. If you haven't heard of it, like Slack, for instance, is a great online tool that it's all about having that kind of team communication. It makes things very easy to share these articles and share files, and just having that kind of one-on-one communication or one-to-many communications. So again, check out Slack. You might be able to test it out and put that in your current operations. Been around for quite a while, and I didn't start using it until 6 months ago, probably like that, and it works out great. I probably use 0.5% of what it's capable of, but it fits my needs, and I'm good to go. So yeah, you can check that out as well. So again, just go out and just start looking. You got again, I'll list them off real quick. Again, like your ISS magazine, your ISS Talk, your Mini Stories Messenger, your Facebook groups, of course SSA and their magazine. Even some of the state associations have there's like a magazine. No, Texas does. They list their magazine online. You can check it online. That's a great one as well. Forgot about that for a second. And yeah, just have these kind of communications, open communications, and just saying, cool, find something. We're going to talk about our next meeting and discuss it. And again, it doesn't necessarily always have to be something new you want to talk about. It could just be an interesting article, just something that brought to your attention. And sometimes just discussing that, some other ideas can spring forward from that, and you might want to implement that in your own business. So again, it's just something that's simple, effective, that I've just found that just helps get communication, going, rather than sometimes it can just be one person talking, quite frankly, and then that's the kind of the end of the meeting. So I like it. So again, thanks so much for being a part of this, guys. I really appreciate it. For those that are not part of it, again, the Facebook group, I invite you to go to selfstoragecommunity.com. That'll bring you to the 3 Mile Storage Facebook group, growing every day. I'm going to be doing some fun things in there as well, besides just doing these kind of live sessions. So again, selfstoragecommunity.com, and we'll get you put in. All right, thanks so much, guys. Have a good Monday. I will see you tomorrow. Take care.
Hi, everyone. This is Jim again. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to visit 3milestorage.com for more free resources on how to grow your self-storage business. See you on the next episode.